Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Welcome to the Accelerated Health TV and radio show. I'm your host, Sara Banta. I'm a wife, a busy mom of three, and the founder of the cutting edge and award-winning supplement brand Accelerated Health Products. This podcast is more than just a source of information. It's a community for you and for those looking to optimize their health. I release new episodes every Monday and Tuesday live and a bonus one on Thursday. So remember to subscribe, add to your playlist, share with your friends, and make sure you join my free health group coaching on Telegram. There's no downside. I answer your questions daily. I post daily. I educate you daily, and you continue forward on your health journey. The details can be found on my website, sarabantahealth.com. My goal is to reach everyone who needs me with my message of healing and not those who don't want to hear it. So help me with this goal and share this podcast with some friends. And together we can empower each other on our journey to optimal health. Today we are talking about reversing your thyroid-related weight gain. And I know we talk a lot about thyroid. Why? Well, it's a pandemic. It truly is. It's affecting millions of people, especially in the last couple of years. A lot of people say, oh, I was born with a slow metabolism. That's just the way it is. I can only eat 800 calories a day. If I eat 801, I will gain weight. Or if I just look at a brownie, I will gain weight. And then there are the people that come to me and say, Sara, out of the blue, I've gained 20 pounds. I have no clue where it came from. I've never had a weight issue in my life. So this is causing a lot of stress and wreaking havoc in a lot of people's lives. And it's not just the weight gain, it's the brain fog, the water retention, the fatigue, all of the other symptoms we are going to go into. And the causes go beyond the obvious: processed foods and too much sugar. Are you eating bad diet? But there's some hidden causes: stress, toxins, radiation, heavy metals, the spike protein, certain healthy foods that could be packing on the pounds. And just a couple personal stories. I have a loved one who thought, Mom, my thyroid is off. I'm gaining weight out of nowhere, not doing anything different. Well, through a scan, what did we find? Heavy metals through the roof. Her thyroid totally fine, and it was functioning right. So, and then there's someone else where there's adrenals that are just completely burnt out. Well, guess what controls your adrenals? Your thyroid. So all of this stuff is related, and it's not just one simple answer. What goes on with that thyroid weight gain? Particularly, it happens with hypothyroidism, an underactive thyroid gland. So you have a slowed metabolism. The thyroid hormones play a crucial role in regulating your metabolism. And that is how you burn that energy, the fat, the carbs, whatever energy your body is getting. And this is where the body converts that food into energy. And we've talked about the gap between taking in food and converting to energy. We want that gap to be zero. We want that food to 100% be converted into energy, or going and restoring tissues and hair and muscles, right? But there's this gap where you eat food, it's not converting into energy, so you eat more food and you're gaining weight. The food is being stored as fat because you're not using it. And your body is not then getting energy, so then you eat more food. So this is where you get that slowed metabolism. But then you get weight gain from fluid retention, water retention. That water is caused because everything's slow in the body. Your body is not moving the lymph. Your lymph is part of your immune system. It's flushing the toxins out, but it can get puffy, and it can get where it's retaining extracellular water, okay? Extracellular hydration. We want intracellular hydration. That's the water and hydration inside the cells. We've talked about that before with salt. And refined salt will give you extracellular water, and a full complete salt like the accelerated salt will give you intracellular hydration. Well, when you have hypothyroidism, you're going to typically retain water. When my thyroid's off, my ankles are fat, my fingers are fat. That's how you know you're holding on to water retention, because your fingers don't really get fat, right? So you'll have that extra fluid retention. You're going to have increased fat storage. So the thyroid hormones influence the breakdown of fats in the body. And the body will not only store more fat, and it's usually around the abdominal area and the buttocks, leading to weight gain, because your body doesn't know how to break down those fats for energy. Remember that gap from food to energy. And you will also possibly get a change in appetite, because that food is not converting into energy. You eat more food. Your brain says, no, I need more food to get more energy. So then you eat more to hope that your energy is going to increase. The other part is maybe you know that you have hypothyroidism and you don't want to gain weight, so you restrict calories. What happens when you restrict? I'm in survival mode. I'm going to hold on to every fat molecule in the body because I'm not getting fed. So a lot of times you're eating too little, or maybe you're eating too much, or you're eating too little and then you're starving and then you binge. So this is a very common thing with people with hypothyroidism. When your metabolism is working, you're eating the right foods, you eat, your energy increases, and you don't have that increased appetite or cravings, because everything's running like a fine-tuned machine. And there's a way to get there, even if you've had a slow metabolism all your life. I promise there is. So if you also have thyroid issues, you're probably tired, your muscles are weak. So guess what you're not doing? You're not exercising. So then when you're not exercising, you're not mobilizing the fat cells. You're not increasing that fat oxidation. You're increasing your stress, because exercise helps lower stress. You're not burning out that extracellular water and moving that lymph and burning calories. So a lot of times that just is part of the domino effect, where you are losing energy, not working out. Then you're probably not sleeping as well. That can also affect your thyroid and your metabolism. And then, of course, you're constipated. Why would constipation be associated with your thyroid? Well, if your metabolism and your thyroid are all slow, then everything's slow in the body, including your stools moving through the body. And so many people are suffering from constipation. What happens, which makes it worse, it's a double whammy, is that the toxins and the excess estrogens in the stool are being reabsorbed by the body. And so that increases the body's propensity to store more fat. The fat cells, you have to remember, are the body's survival mechanism to store all of these toxins that are in our modern day world. They encapsulate the toxins and get them out of the bloodstream. Okay, because this is for survival. And where are these toxins really going to go? Are those fat cells going to go? Typically in that visceral fat around those expensive organs, because we are under threat. Our body doesn't know if we're being chased by a tiger, if we're going to hit a famine, or if we're just being hit by radiation and heavy metals and toxins. It doesn't know. It just knows it's in survival mode. So when it's in survival mode, it wants to protect those expensive organs around the gut, the liver, the kidneys, and all of that stuff. So that's where the belly fat comes in. So what are the symptoms to look out for? And I've had so many people saying, Sara, my doctor says my thyroid hormones are normal. It just doesn't make sense. I'm tired. My hair's falling out. Well, these are the symptoms to look for. You are your best doctor, not me and not your doctor. You become very in tune with your symptoms and yourself. That is your power. That is going to be your superpower when it comes to your health. So fatigue, just constantly tired, lack of energy. That's because your metabolism isn't working. It's compromising your oxygen utilization by the cells. You're cold a lot, especially if your friends aren't, right? Your hands, your feet. It lowers your basal temperature and decreases heat production by the body's cells. The number one way to find out if you have hypothyroidism is those old mercury temperatures or thermometers. That's how you know. We are supposed to be at 98.6. Most people are at 97 or lower. And that's because most people are walking around with hypothyroidism. Dry skin and hair. So hair falling out, brittle hair, nails are weak. This is all caused by impaired sweat gland activity, decreased skin cell regeneration, and just you're not holding in that moisture in the skin. Constipation, like I mentioned. Now, this is because there's a decrease in gastrointestinal motility, and then also an insufficient secretion of digestive juices and enzymes. So not only are you constipated, but your digestion is slow. The food just feels like it's sitting there. That is also part of hypothyroidism. Weak muscles and joint pain. You got these pains in your joints that you never had before. Swelling and edema, like we talked about. You can have puffiness in your face, around the eyes, hoarseness in the voice, change in your voice, dry throat. That is all part of an underproduction of thyroid hormones, and that affects the larynx and the vocal cords. Depression. So most people taking antidepressants are actually hypothyroid. Most people that go to their doctors to get on antidepressants, the doctors don't test thyroid hormones. If you think you have depression, you demand that you get a full thyroid panel to get the full picture, not just the TSH. It is essential. Okay, so a lot of people are getting off their antidepressants when they fix their thyroid with some of the supplements we're going to talk about. You might have memory and cognitive issues. Hey, if I don't have energy down in my body, I don't have energy up in my brain if I have a slow metabolism. So metabolism isn't just about weight gain. It's about everything going on in your body. Menstrual irregularities. I've had young women who have started the accelerated iodine and the accelerated thyroid, and their menstrual cycles get easier. The PMS goes away. They feel happier. And it's all because of their thyroid affecting their menstrual cycles. And you can also have irregular or heavy menstrual periods. And that's because the thyroid controls the hypothalamus, pituitary, gonadal axis. Gonadal meaning all of your sex organs. It also controls the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis. And that's why I was talking about the adrenal thyroid connection. You also might have higher cholesterol levels. A lot of people are saying, Sarah, out of the blue, my cholesterol is going up. Well, the spike protein causes that, but also hypothyroidism can cause that. And this is due to the thyroid hormone involvement in lipid metabolism, so fat metabolism. And that's all in your liver, right? So that's why we got to keep our livers clean. And we'll talk about that in a little bit too. You might have muscle cramps, particularly in your legs. And this is from lower blood flow, electrolyte balance, nerve dysfunction, and like I said, a puffy face. I actually had someone just text me yesterday. She's doing the Ascent Diet Cleanse. She hasn't even gone through the liver flush yet. She goes, Sarah, I'm looking at pictures of me from a month ago and my face is so much less puffy. And she was super excited. So that was great. So what are the things that are causing thyroid weight gain away from food? Iodine deficiency. So iodine deficiency is the number one cause for mitochondrial failure. It's all about your mitochondria. It's all about the ATP, which is the energy in the mitochondria, in the cells that is doing everything in your body. Mitochondrial failure is the number one cause for death, right? So if you don't have healthy mitochondria, you're accelerating your aging, you're getting higher risk for chronic disease, and all of these symptoms. Well, iodine deficiency is the number one cause for mitochondrial failure. Why? Because iodine plays that critical role in the synthesis of the thyroid hormones, T3, T4, and even T2, that which stands for tyrosine, 3, 4, and 2 molecules of iodine. You can't have these thyroid hormones without iodine. And this is the number one cause also for hypothyroidism. It's also the number one cause for depression. Do you see the connection? Most people, shockingly, over 96% of people in the US are deficient in iodine. And that statistic was from Dr. Brownstein back in the early 2000s. So it's probably even higher because our soils are even more depleted and people are not supplementing. And it's not coming in our iodized salt anymore. And that iodized salt is full of microplastics. So here you are taking in endocrine disruptors with a little bit of iodine that is in that refined salt, thinking you're getting your iodine. It doesn't work that way. So then you've got the iodine disruptors. So the environmental toxins, these can hinder the absorption and utilization of iodine by the thyroid gland, and fluoride, bromide, chlorine. So think about chemistry class back in high school. You've got the halogen column, right? And fluoride, bromide, and chloride or chlorine are in the same column as iodine. So when you don't have enough iodine and there are iodine needs on each cell, then those other ones that look like iodine, fluoride, bromide, and chlorine, they fill those receptor sites. These toxins clog the receptor sites. Then what happens? That will inhibit mitochondrial health, ATP, and you are going to start getting chronic disease because these toxins, that's what they do. Well, remember, you need iodine inside, outside, and on the cell membrane. So on the cell membrane, you have iodolipid values, meaning iodine fat. The cell membrane is made up of saturated and unsaturated fat and has an iodine value. So you need it for the membrane, which is the brain of every single cell, to get the nutrients into the cell and the toxins out. And this is like what I was talking about with the person where she has so many heavy metals in her body that they're stuck in the fat cells. And if she doesn't take iodine, we can't get those metals out. We can't get the nutrients in. We can't convert the food into energy, and it disrupts all of this. So you need it for the cell membrane. You need iodine in the cell for that ATP. It turns 2 ATP into 36. So it increases the number of ATP. And then outside the cell, iodine helps devitalize foreign pathogens, viruses, bacteria, fungus, parasites, also cleanses the blood to let the liver do what it needs to do. So this is why iodine is so important, and these disruptors are really wreaking havoc on our body, causing this unexplained weight gain that is related to the thyroid. The endocrine disruptors are just like that. They are disrupting the function of the whole endocrine system. And these include pesticides, plastics, BPA. That's why you don't want to drink out of those plastic bottles. And it is an actual thing. Heavy metals, lead, mercury, they've been linked to thyroid dysfunction. They have a potential to disrupt the synthesis and release of thyroid hormones. Then you've got the perfluorinated compounds, PFCs, fluorinated, meaning fluoride. So every time you see fluor, FLUOR, that's related to fluoride, think to yourself, oh my gosh, this is disrupting the absorption of iodine. This is pushing out the good iodine and sitting into my cell's receptor sites. Not good. These are present in certain nonstick cookware, waterproof agents, and they've been associated with thyroid disruption. Radiation. So our cell phones, our computers, all of the stuff that we are being bombarded with, and we don't think about it because we can't see radiation, causes unexplained weight gain, causes a slowed thyroid, and your body's under threat. You don't see it, but you're probably getting a little anxious. Do you get anxious just looking at your phone for too long? I do. I have to put it down and I feel my brain like calm down. Well, that radiation is rattling our brain, rattling our DNA, and it can cause thyroid dysfunction, hypothyroidism, even a risk of thyroid cancer, increased insulin resistance, increased fat gain, all just from radiation. Stress. So, like I've talked about before, your stress is going to be there. It's how you process it, how you perceive it. What is your stress response? The adrenal glands release cortisol in response to stress. During acute or short-term stress, cortisol can actually mobilize stored energy and glucose and fatty acids. You might lose weight in short term, but this is going to also fuel the body's immediate fight or flight response. But long term, cortisol is telling the body to shut down its metabolism for survival. Remember, it doesn't know if you're just having a fight with your husband or if you're in a famine. And what's going to happen is that inactive T4 thyroid hormone is going to convert into reverse T3. Reverse T3 tells the body to slow its metabolism, increase its fat storage for later use. We got to survive. Fat storage is a survival mechanism. It's also, stress can trigger that increased appetite and cravings for high calorie, sugary, or fatty foods in some individuals, and that can cause weight gain. These foods, like in the processed foods, with the artificial sweeteners, the artificial ingredients that the body doesn't recognize as real food, doesn't know what to do with it, so stores them as fat. But they also lower ATP. So if food is taking away energy, what's your body going to do? What's your brain going to tell your body? I need to eat more. I need to eat more for more energy because I'm getting less energy. So then the food is getting shuttled into fat storage and you're going to want to eat more. And that fat storage is going to increase. So even if you eat the same amount of food, chronic stress and elevated cortisol is a fat storing hormone. So it is also going to stimulate fat storing around that belly area. Remember, it is going to protect those organs. So as visceral fat, and this is the dangerous type of fat. The fat on your buttocks and your legs that jiggle, not so dangerous. The one around the visceral fat, that around your abdominal area, that is the dangerous fat. Your metabolism is going to slow down from that prolonged stress. And it's going to make weight gain even easier and weight loss more challenging. Remember, survival mechanism, we're lowering our metabolism, and it's going to increase insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a survival mechanism. So just by having stress, not doing anything different with your food, this is going to disrupt blood sugar regulation, promote fat accumulation, and cause weight gain. And the processed foods. So it doesn't matter the calories, right? So say you're eating a potato and an apple versus the same amount of calories in processed foods, you're going to gain weight over here. Well, for number one, these foods are high calorie. They're usually denser. They don't have the fiber in them. They have the trans fats, the seed oils, that cause inflammation and insulin resistance, and they're fat. They're not sugar. This is going to promote weight gain and at the cellular level. The processed ingredients, the additives, preservatives that don't have calories are going to disrupt metabolism, cellular function, gut function, causing leaky gut. When you got leaky gut, you're not going to convert that food into energy and cause weight gain. And these additives are going to be stored in those fat cells. So your body has a higher propensity to store fat. And with that altered gut microbiome, just from one meal of processed foods, you can cause leaky gut. This is going to lead to inflammation, malnutrition, so that when you eat the healthy food that we'll talk about, your body's not going to be able to absorb it as well. And this is going to influence weight gain as well. The spike protein. So this is related to what we've been dealing with over the last 4 years, and it disrupts the function of the ACE2 enzyme receptor in the liver. That's why you got to love your liver, you guys. This is going to cause an accumulation of angiotensin 2. And what does that mean? It depresses thyroid function. Okay, so it's going to cause a disruption of that conversion from T4 into the active T3 in the liver. And it's going to cause more water retention. It's going to cause more insulin dysregulation and unexplained weight gain. So eating the same foods that you ate 4 years ago versus today, you might have a higher insulin response. Insulin is the fat storing hormone. It increases the antidiuretic hormone, which is going to cause you to increase the fluid in your body. It also increases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress has many effects in a negative way on the body, right? And inflammation. It causes inflammation in the liver and other tissues, contributing to full-on systemic inflammation. And it also may cause hormonal imbalance. So we know estrogen is a fat-storing hormone, the bad estrogens. It also might lower testosterone, which is a fat-burning hormone and a good, muscle building, fat burning, energy producing hormone, even for women. So the spike protein does affect your hormonal balance too. Oxalates. So these oxalates found in healthy foods like spinach and almonds, kale, most nuts, soy, beans, grains, they steal minerals from the body, get deposited in areas of the body like the thyroid. They love the thyroid. So imagine oxalates as toothpicks that get stuck in your joints, causing arthritis, in your urogenital pathways that will cause UTIs, bladder infections, but the thyroid. So they get stuck there and they cause hypothyroidism, in addition to nerve dysfunction, pain in the connective tissues, digestive issues, urogenital issues. But the thyroid is the second most common place oxalates love, besides the bones. And then the sulfur foods, another group of foods that are healthy foods that could be causing thyroid issues. These are broccoli, kale, cabbage, cauliflower. They may inhibit the body's detoxification pathways. And it's funny, I was formulating my new accelerated liver care, super exciting. And someone brought up dandelion to put that in there. And I go, nope, it's got sulfur. So we are not putting that in there. And a lot of liver supplements that are supposed to cleanse the liver actually block the liver, the detoxification pathways. That's like why it's so important to look at the ingredients of your supplements and then also your foods. Does not matter about calories. When I eliminated the sulfur foods from my diet, which I was eating a ton, low calorie, low carb, right? I dropped like 4 to 5 pounds of water within a day, because I was just so puffy with water retention because everything was so backed up from that sulfur. So really important to focus on the accelerated food guide. I lay all of this out. It doesn't matter about the calories you're eating. You want to increase ATP, increase mitochondrial health, increase and optimize your thyroid, and eat the calories your body needs to burn so you have the energy to be active, to do the workouts, to do the work, and to be with the family without stress and managing your stress. It all goes together. Okay. So the top 3 supplements to manage your thyroid weight gain, right? We want to give you tools to use to increase that ATP, detox the thyroid, supplement to optimize the thyroid. And that's your foundation. And then we'll get into the foods. So number 1 is the acceleridine iodine. Remember, 96% of you or more are deficient in iodine. And it helps with detoxifying the cells from heavy metals, toxins, and radiation. It supplies the iodine for that cell membrane. It helps get the toxins out and the nutrients in. And it helps outside the cell to what? To cleanse the blood, for the liver to do its job, also devitalizing the foreign pathogens. And even you can put it on your face with the accelerated castor oil to help with bacteria and apoptosis. Apoptosis is the destruction of diseased cells. Iodine has also been shown to help mitigate the detrimental effects of the spike protein that has made hypothyroidism even worse. It's displacing the fluoride, chlorine, and bromide. And even Dr. Brownstein has increased his recommendation of dosage to at least 25 milligrams of iodine a day. He even goes up to 50 milligrams for someone with a chronic disease. So accelerated iodine, why is it different than any other iodine? It is one single atom of iodine, I minus. So this is going back to chemistry class. Most iodine supplements are diatomic, meaning that iodine is attached to something else. And the weak body that has no ATP and no energy or metabolism is forced to break apart that iodine molecule from the other molecule to use it. So the absorption is 10 to 50%. Acceleradine, that's not the case. It's much higher. So acceleradine is needed for your children, for your elderly, for you, men and women, helping with hormonal balance, hormonal weight gain, all of the things that we've talked about that are causing that thyroid weight gain. It helps take care of it. So that's accelerated iodine. The next one is accelerated thyroid, and this was designed to complement the accelerated iodine. And it is the most comprehensive natural thyroid supplement designed to support and restore thyroid function. We use grass-fed thyroid glandular, and it provides the essential peptides, the amino acids, the nutrients necessary for the thyroid health. So we're supporting the thyroid, which we're not getting through the diet. It uses conchinara, which is an Ayurvedic herb that I've been using for so many years. I love it. It detoxifies the thyroid. It helps with water retention. It helps with nodules, and it helps support that thyroid glandular. And then we add in amino acids to help strengthen the formula. We then, of course, enhance it with scalar frequencies. If you don't understand scalar frequencies, there's an article on SaraBantaHealth.com explaining what it means. But those frequencies are designed to clear emotional and physical shock from the body, improve the overall health of the thyroid, detoxify the halogens, which is the fluoride, bromide, and chlorine, and heavy metals and radiation, and balance the thyroid and parathyroid glands. The ingredients in it are also helping with fatty liver. 45% of the adult population and 25% of the child population have fatty liver. This was a disease that was non-existent unless you were an alcoholic before 1980. So this is very important. It helps with wound healing, strengthening your connective tissues and bones, elevating your mood, improving digestion. All of those things suffer when you have hypothyroidism. The third supplement is the accelerated keto, and it helps with enhancing the metabolism, promoting fat burning, and supporting your liver health. So it's cleansing the liver on a daily basis. The ingredients help increase that metabolism and fat burning by increasing ATP in the mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cells. It helps cleanse the liver. Remember, the liver is where that T4 converts into T3. And if you don't have a clean liver, you are not going to have a healthy metabolism. The liver is also where you're metabolizing fat and protein. So if your liver's gunked up, it can't process fat and it can't process proteins. The spike protein is inhibiting both fat and protein metabolism. So here you are eating your fat and your protein, and it's not being converted into energy or building your muscles and your tissues. The accelerated keto also helps suppress your cravings because it has the ketones in there, the exogenous ketones. It is going to tell your body, I want to burn fat. I can burn my own fat, and I don't need to eat that sugar. And it also is increasing that ATP, like I mentioned. So you will feel a difference. I've had people say, Sara, I can't do your cleanse. I can't do intermittent fasting. I have to have breakfast as soon as I wake up. I said, just start the supplements, see what happens. And I had a lady last week go, what is going on? This is day 2 and it's almost 4 p.m. and I haven't eaten. I'm not hungry. Now, do I recommend intermittent fasting that long, every day, long-term? Absolutely not. But for the first 60 days, if you have insulin resistance, taking the accelerated keto in conjunction with the accelerated iodine, the accelerated thyroid that boosts your metabolism, reduces stress. So it takes away that stress that you usually get when you're intermittent fasting, and helps you take the foot off the gas pedal for insulin resistance, is a good thing. So listening to your body, becoming in touch with your real, true hunger signals, and having that energy, because it's helping her tap into her own energy stores. She's able to live her day, do her energy, do her stuff without having those cravings. And it helps with optimizing the thyroid hormones, because it's helping with the conversion of T4 into T3 and reducing stress. So what I noticed when I first started this supplement, I felt like, oh, my problems, my stressors are 20 feet in front of me instead of smacking me in my face. My GABA felt like it was increasing, my serotonin, my dopamine. It just helped me calm down. Now, if you want to add in other supplements for your thyroid-related weight gain, Thyroid Fixer is a T2. Now, this is a complement to the accelerated iodine and accelerated thyroid. It is not the priority. You want to make sure you're going after the full thyroid health before adding in the Thyroid Fixer. It helps with fat burning and helps with optimizing mitochondrial health. Accelerated scalar copper. So copper is a trace mineral that is the key to fat burning. Most people are low in copper because of the spike protein. It depletes copper, and because of processed foods, which deplete copper. Well, copper acts as a crucial cofactor in various enzymes in the synthesis and metabolism of thyroid hormones. It also has an affinity for binding to thyroid hormones like TBG, which is the carrier protein responsible for transporting thyroid hormones throughout the bloodstream. So deficiency in copper levels may negatively impact the binding and transportation of these thyroid hormones, causing weight gain. And it's also antioxidant, and it helps with neutralizing the harmful free radicals. So the accelerated scalar copper, only copper supplement with a high bioavailability compared to most copper supplements with only 5 to 10. It's enhanced with scalar frequencies and treated with water implosion technology. What does that mean? The efficacy is much higher. It helps clear that emotional and physical shock from the body, enhances the structural integrity in the body, balances zinc and copper in the body, and it's also designed to help devitalize fungus. So the accelerated scalar cellular detox powder. So for the heavy metals that we were talking about in that individual earlier today, this is super important, because as we're detoxing with the acceleradine and Nuke No More, which helps with detoxifying radiation, the cellular detox powder is soaking this up and taking it out of your body quicker. So it's increasing the efficacy of your detoxification process from the toxins that are causing thyroid weight gain. And it helps with weight management because we've added chitosan, and this helps take excess cholesterol and fat from your diet out of the body. So this can aid in weight loss efforts, and just that added bonus. And it's enhanced with scalar frequencies as well to help detox the pesticides, insecticides, heavy metals, and radiation that could be possibly causing that weight gain. Now, we've talked about the liver, the importance of the liver. You can always add in the Sara Banta's liver flush cleanse. I do it every 8 weeks or so. I always see a jump in my metabolism, my energy, and just my overall digestion. When I do it, it enhances the insulin sensitivity, lowers uric acid levels, both which can cause weight gain, boosts protein and fat metabolism, reduces inflammation, and helps optimize the thyroid hormones, because that conversion is happening in your liver. And it's helping detoxify the radiation and the toxins, helps with fatty liver, and improves the ACE2 receptor function that has been hindered because of the spike protein. So what do you want to do as far as food and everything else? Well, you want to focus on that wild animal protein. That is going to give you a thermic effect where your body's burning 25% of the calories just through digestion and heat. It's going to trigger the release of glucagon, which is a fat burning hormone. It's also the amino acids stimulate the production of CCK, a hormone that signals to the brain, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm not craving the sugar and processed foods. So it's the most nutrient dense, most thyroid supporting food on the planet. So it's providing the nutrients that you used to be getting from your fruits and vegetables. You want to stay away from the whey. The pea whey is, depends on your dairy allergies or not. But the pea and the soy proteins, a lot of them just convert to sugar. They could be full of mold, estrogenic, causing weight gain, and you don't get that thermic effect. The chicken, conventionally raised beef, turkey, and poultry, those meats contain high levels of omega-6 inflammatory fats and amyloid proteins. Amyloid proteins, they're going to slow down your metabolism. They're going to cause gut issues, reduce ATP production. So even if that chicken has less calories than the bison ribeye is going to help your thyroid health a lot more than that chicken. So ordering that chicken salad with the dressing on the side is doing you no good for your thyroid-related weight gain. You got to switch your thinking. We've been schooled wrongly. Remember, farm-raised fish are fed genetically modified corn and soy. You eat what you ate, right? So that is full of linoleic acid, omega-6 fatty acids stick to the wild fish. And you want to stay away from the polyunsaturated fats, mostly found in the processed foods, imitation butter, salad dressing, fried food, poultry, pork, nuts, seeds, and seed oils, because they've got double bonds that are very unstable. They're going to cause an increase in inflammation throughout the body. They stay in your body for over 6 years. They affect the electron transport chain, crucial for ATP production. So if your ATP suffers, your metabolism suffers. You gain weight without eating a morsel of chocolate, right? So these fats are really important to get out of your diet. You can start incorporating carbs, guys. Carbs are not the devil. So you want to focus on cooked organic vegetables without the sulfur, oxalates, histamines, or mold. I lay this all out in the Accelerated Food Guide. Make sure you check that out. It's free on the website. You can use that fiber from the vegetables for that healthy gut microbiome. And you can use organic fruits. Also, they offer simple carbs. They don't promote the endotoxin growth, which you can get from some of the complex carbs. If your gut is having issues, you want to stay away from the grains and the beans, and you want to stay away from them usually, most of them, because of the lectins and some of the other stuff. But fruits, simple fruits. I love the frozen cherries, watermelon, papaya right now is really good. Those are some great fruits that you can incorporate to get that carbs in. Carbs tell your body that you're not in survival mode. So they can actually increase your metabolism. As I've incorporated carbs, as I've stopped intermittent fasting as much, my metabolism has shot through the roof. So it's really interesting to see on a personal level what happens when you get to incorporate more calories, more of the healthy calories. This is not processed food. So that is really important to make sure that you understand. It's not just all about calories. You've got to make sure you're eating the right calories that your body wants and your body uses. You can intermittent fast. If you are using the accelerated keto and you've got plenty of energy and you don't feel stressed out, you can limit your eating window to 6 to 14 hours if you want. That will help reset your insulin sensitivity and help with fat loss and boost the metabolism with the help of the supplements. And just, I don't think I need to say it again, you want to avoid the processed foods. So those are the ways to help reverse your thyroid-related weight gain. You don't have to be stuck with a slow metabolism. I had someone the other day say, Sarah, I'm going to get a genetic test because I just want to know if I have a gene that says that I'm always going to have a slow metabolism. And I thought, it's not all about the genes. I've got both genes for Alzheimer's and my brain is on fire. It's what you do. It's the environment. It's the way you eat, the way you diet, the way you exercise, the way you laugh, the way you process your stress. It's the way you sleep. All of these things, your relationships. That is what is going to influence your overall health, including your thyroid health. So thanks for tuning in today. If you need my help with your health concerns, you don't know where to start, you're overwhelmed, but you feel like I'm speaking to you, reach out to me, SaraBantaHealth.com. Happy to put together a protocol for you. Leave a comment in the below. What are you noticing about your body? Have you gained weight just in the last 4 years? Do you feel like your metabolism has just shut down? Are you seeing your hair fall out, your eyebrows thinning, puffy face? I want to know. So let me know, leave a comment below, and join my free group coaching on Telegram. There's no downside. I share daily tips and tools to improve your health, answer your questions. You'll be surrounded by amazing people. The information's on my website, SaraBantaHealth.com. And of course, don't forget to follow me on social media at Accelerated Health Products. You can catch this podcast and all of my podcasts on over 100 platforms, including Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio. Just search Accelerated Health TV and Radio Show. I'm on a mission to share my healing message with everyone who is ready to listen and not those who aren't. So if you can help me, share this with a few friends. I'd really appreciate it. I'm live every Monday and Tuesday. I post a bonus one on Thursdays. And be sure to visit the website. Use coupon WELCOME10 to get 10% off your first order. Thanks again for joining us here and have a great week.